But wait, there's more. Youngest player ever to post a playoff triple-double on the road. The Mavericks, as a team, shot 47% from three. Hey, it's a heck of a lot better than Kawhi and PG's combined 3 of 14 from three. But Paul George says not to worry. Yeah, we got this. Take a listen.
We expect to play better. We expect to be more dialed in game two. We're not looking at it as just because of who we have. We're expected to win. And we got the same pressure as every team that's in this. It all comes down to who's the last team standing. And that's just the pressure every team goes through. It's no different than how we're approaching this. We want to be the last team standing, regardless of however many games it take or how tough the road is. Fact of the matter is, man, we want to be the last one standing. So we got to be better for game two. And, I plan on this team bouncing back.
Nick, I'd imagine this came as a bit of a surprise to Clippers fans. How should those fans feel? Totally fine? Slightly concerned? Maybe panic mode? How should they be feeling this morning?
Oh, somewhere between panic, more than concern, not yet panic. But same old story, same old Clippers. Got a fourth quarter lead, and then it's gut check time. Nice little 18-6 run against a team who has one guy that has to do everything. And you were built to stop that. Hey, Kawhi Leonard, remember when you were Defensive Player of the Year back-to-back seasons? Maybe channel a bit of that and slow down the 22-year-old Slovenian that has eaten your lunch in 7 playoff games. Luka, 7 career playoff games, all against this team, 31, 10, and 10. That's just not just what he did this weekend. That's his averages. And I am not really one for the metaphysical realm. But if you are, it's not just ghosts of seasons past haunting the Clippers. It is the basketball gods saying, this is what you get. Game 72, facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. You intentionally lost that game to avoid the Lakers as long as possible. Had you won that game, you get the Blazers in round one. A Blazers team that you are undefeated against since acquiring Kawhi and Paul George. Instead, you inexplicably signed up to be tortured by Luka. And Brandon, unless the Clippers are going to go to their game plan of last year, which is get Kristaps ejected and maim Luka's ankle, they could be in trouble. Because the best player on the court is a 22-year-old kid from Slovenia that they have no answers for. None.
I love you.
Thank you.
It's not time to panic. They should just be disappointed. That's it. This was a really good game. This is playoff basketball. First quarter, the Clippers played terrible. Luka came out hot. Second quarter, they overcame it. And then you saw the third quarter, and it was a back and forth. This is exactly what the NBA wants. This is exactly what you want as a fan. Unfortunately, for the Clippers fans, you just want to be standing there at the end as the champions, as the winners, excuse me. So this was a back and forth game. The difference for me was Luka. Luka was hot, his intensity. You saw after he made big shots, how he was yelling and screaming, playing into the crowd that really wasn't there. That's what we want to see from the other guy in Los Angeles, AD. You just don't see that. And then on the other side, as far as like what was a big factor for me was Paul George. It was almost as if he had in the back of his mind this playoff P thing. It wasn't that he played bad. First quarter, second quarter, really no presence. Second half, he played really well.
He was good.
But it was methodical. It was intentional. We want to see this guy come out and take it to another level. He needs to do more if they want to win. Again, he didn't play bad, but you can tell he was being really picky and choosy on his shot selection. And maybe it was because of, I don't want to start off bad, and I don't want everybody to start talking about playoff P. This was a back and forth wilds. It wasn't any type of game that Clippers fans should feel, where they should be more than disappointed. They should hit the panic button.
Got you. Okay. I'm gonna pull a Jalen Rose here. Not only am I going to get a great haircut, but I'm going to let you in behind the curtain. That's what Jalen says when he talks to you about what we're actually doing. Sports analysis is a heady mix of heart and head. Sometimes you just are making picks with your heart. Like I'm like, oh, the Patriots are going to be great. Like, are you sure? Like, well, my heart says they're going to be great. Sometimes you look at the analytics and you make picks with your head. Nicholas Wright, you picked the Clippers to win this series. And your son came out and had a great game. You went head over heart. And you're sitting here cackling with joy, although, because you're proud of your son and you dislike the Clippers. But the one thing I know that you love more than anything is being right. And you've got the Clippers winning this series. How is the mental and emotional torment going for you this morning?
Well, you've really put me in a tough spot, Wilds. And I want to do this. And, Keta, radio shows used to be on delay. I don't know if TV shows are, so if you need to, like, dump out of this, you can. But I have a confession to make to our staff and our colleagues and the bosses at Fox Sports. I don't think you should laugh here, Wilds. I undermined the integrity of this show for personal gain. And by that, I mean this show is built on take integrity and those picks and my perfect record last year picking the Western Conference playoffs. But I knew the last piece of motivation my beloved son needed was seeing me pick against him on national television. And I said, you know what? I got to do it for him. I owe it to him. And so that pick, I'm not saying I didn't believe in it. What I'm saying is that I put aside the, blood over water, as they say, blood's thicker than water. And I felt I know Luka. And what he needs is the people who love him the most to doubt him the most. So when I said the Clippers were going to win, of course he sees that. And he says, oh, really, Dad? Okay, let me go drop 31, 10, and 11 on their heads and torture them. And Brandon, I do have a question for you. I do have a question for you. You said they shouldn't be panicked, but they have now lost 4 playoff games in a row. 3 of them, including this one, they had fourth quarter leads in and then got blown out. The one they didn't have a fourth quarter lead in, they had a halftime lead in. It was game 7, and they lost by 15 points. At what point do the Clippers players start saying, guys, we don't know how to close? We have no championships together. We have no great playoff success together. We've played this team now 7 times in the playoffs. They've beaten us 3 of the 7. Next game, they learn how to close the next game.
If it happens, because it's the playoffs, if it happens again and you drop, if you fall back 0-2, then it's a problem. But look, this team is different. You got Ty Lue, changed everything. You got Kawhi Leonard, he's playing good basketball. He's a leader. He's playing, all year he played back-to-backs. And you had Paul George. He didn't play terrible. Second half, he stepped up. It's about playing big basketball in the big moments. And unfortunately, Luka was the one that got that done and not them. This is playoff basketball, Nick. It was a great game. This is what you want to see as a fan. If you watch that game for 4 quarters, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if it happens again, then we should be panicked.
Okay. All right. I'm excited for Tuesday.
Okay, we'll see. Nick, do us a favor. Hand out some NBA medals for us from the playoff action this weekend. Medals. Perhaps the head turner last night. Maybe that was one of them. John Morant, the 8 seed Grizzlies beating the number 1 seed Utah Jazz in game 1. Could it be? It isn't. Morant just missing Nick's medal stand before going for 26. Who do you got, Nick?
Apologies, Ja, but this was the weekend of the new wave of NBA star. So many guys making their playoff debut. Ja, one of them, playing tremendously. Here's another one, playoff debut. Bronze medalist, Devin Booker. He was the best player on the court in that game against the Lakers yesterday. 34, 7, and 8 in his first career playoff game against the number 1 defense in basketball, and 34 of his team's 99 points. So that 34 is even heavier than most because it's not like his team scored 120. He gets the bronze. Silver medalist, a guy not making his playoff debut. We just talked about him. Just a typical ho-hum night for Luka. 31, 10, 11, cooking the allegedly great Clippers defense, getting people all whiny and crying. How's he do it? How's he do it? Because he's better than all of you. And then the gold medal. Oh, no. Oh, dear God. Is that Reggie Miller's music? Well, Trey, some would say Trae Young is a skinny, slightly overrated player. I would say that's a hell of a playoff debut. 32, 7, and 10. And the game winner. Staying awful quiet in here. I don't know why he's putting his index finger up near his eyebrows, but still, point taken, Trey. He gets the gold. First edition of playoff medals. Trae Young in his playoff debut gets the gold, Jenna. Great job by him.
Gardner was
Bravo to
rough.
Trae Young. Knicks will bounce back. All right, Wilds, who just missed the cut?
You know, the Grizzlies have some momentum, but I don't know if they're going to be able to keep it up because Kyle Anderson should probably be suspended for at least one, maybe the entire series. Maybe it's like an Artest-like suspension that goes into next year for slamming Rudy Gobert down. Oh, my God. Rudy Gobert, mind you, is Defensive Player of the Year. He's 7 feet tall, so you know he must have pushed him with